Hi everybody, good morning. We will be talking about what is privatization and what is globalization in this video. So, in the earlier class, we were talking about economic reforms. What do we mean by economic reforms? So, now we will be talking about uh, first one, we have completed liberalization, and the second and third, that is the privatization and globalization, we will be discussing in detail in this video. So, what is privatization? Privatization means you give the role to the private to take up an activity or organization which was already being reserved for public sector undertakings alone. So, it's a transferring function, and so that is what is we mean by privatization. And there are two ways of privatization. One is you can either sell a private unit you can sell a public sector unit to a private unit, or you can withdraw the public sector units and you can allow only the private sector units to operate in that particular industry. So, these are the two ways of doing it, and of course, the government has followed both the ways. Opening up the economy for private sector is basically being called as privatization. So, what are the objectives of privatization and why it was being done? Actually, when public sector undertakings were there and the employees were having a continuous job and secure job in terms of government employees normally cannot be thrown out just like that on the basis of non-performance. So, there was a type of lethargicness among the public sector employees, that is the government employees, and this has led to high inefficiency the way in which the functioning happened. Because of this, what happens is India has become highly incompetitive. So the objectives of privatization goes like this. Number one is to increase the efficiency, because in private sector always there is a fear of job loss, and when a person is not performing, the person will be thrown out. So there will be competitive spirit. Each and every one will try to utilize their fullest capability in order to retain the job and in order to grow in the job. So it increases the efficiency and it increases the competitive spirit of the enterprise. And this also helps many of the private enterprises to earn more and more foreign currency, because India is becoming more competitive, and to utilize the resources in the most optimum possible way. As being said already, public sector undertakings, the government is the owner, and government cannot employ everybody because India is a huge continent with large population, second largest in terms of population. So it was very difficult for India to provide Indian government to provide employment opportunities to all its eligible citizens. So what they have done is they have privatized, and private employers, that is the entrepreneurs, they were providing employment opportunities, and Tata is one of the largest private employers here in India. In TCS alone, around 4.5 lakhs employees were there, and that is the Tata Consultancy Services, and Tata Group as such is a bigger group which has various other industries too. And to make optimum use of the resources and to achieve to make the country as one of the before 1990s, that is 1991 until 1990s, right from independence till 1990, it was a bad situation for India. Indian government was concentrating more on the population, its citizens, food, clothing, and education and health. And India was a developing country because the population was huge and government was spending more on it. But in spite of it, government couldn't do much. So in order to achieve develop the state situation, India was badly in need of a new economic policy where private sector will play a very important role. And that's what they have done it in 1991. And what measures they did is they have contracted the public sector public sector undertaking. They have made this investment, that is selling the public sector enterprises to the private parties, and increases the role of the private sector and converting the loans into shares. That was not being necessary, and sick industries A lot of things they have done. Memorandum of understanding was being made with the private sector, and there was a great change in terms of Indian uh, Indian industry as such. Private sector playing a very important role. So what are the advantages of this privatization? And of course, for your kind information, only after 1991, almost all the private sector players have gained their prominence, and they have played a very important role in the economic development of this nation. They have provided huge employment opportunities to people. They have contributed significantly for the gross domestic product and the national income, and they have provided employment opportunities to the people. Huge employment opportunities to the unemployed people of this country. So private sector actually played a very important role in the development of the nation since 1991. So what is that? Number one advantage is economic burden was being reduced. That is, the government's debt trap has been reduced, and efficiency in terms of functioning, because private sector employees, if they are going to be irresponsible, then they will be thrown off. If they are poor performers, then they cannot continue with their job, unlike in terms of public sector undertakings. So it has resulted in efficiency, and then whenever there is private sector always invest money, so they always look for return on investment, ROI, and they are more bothered about the profit. So they have done scientific management. They have recruited people from IIMs and B schools and IITs, and there was Paka scientific management, and of course it has resulted in better efficiency, and Indian products have become globally competitive. A lot of things happen, and political interference, because license Raj has gone. Private people need not meet the top political people in order to get a license. So there was reduction in political interference, and there was encouragement for new inventions. So that was a good policy which was being done by the then Asmara government in 1991. But it has also resulted in certain disadvantages. People who were working in private sector, where their welfare was being concerned, they have to work hard. Working hours were being extended, and there was increased inequality, rich becoming richer and poor becoming poorer, and this and all were some of the disadvantages in terms of privatization. And employees, they do not have much of rights and all, and they were opposing, and in spite of privatization, it was also resulted in increase in unemployment. And the country is a huge country, and it has normally ignored the weaker section. And apart from that, when it is government sector, they give more importance to the social welfare. But when as it is a private sector, they have forgotten that and all. They were not giving importance to the social sector. They were more bothered about their own profit. So these are some of the problems in privatization. And public sector reforms were also being done, and that is public sector units were being named as Navaratnas, Maharatnas, and Miniratnas and all. And they were also being motivated. They were also being asked to compete with the private sector. And next one is this WTO, that is the World Trade Organization. This is one of the largest international organization, and this was being established in 1995. And in 2005, there were 153 members, and they have signed this agreements. That is free trade between countries. That is what we mean by WTO. And this is established in 1995 in the Uruguay round. Negotiations happened in between 1986 to 94, and it was being established in 95. The budget was around 185 million Swiss francs for 2008, with a total of 625 staff members, which was headed by Pascal Lamy, and there were around 153 countries in that as on July 23rd, 2008. And objectives of WTO were like this. There is the World Trade Organization, making the world trade easy, and so that is number one is to promote multilateral trade, that is free trade between different countries, and to promote free trade by abolishing tariff and non-tariff barriers. Tariff here in the sense that tax or duty, and non-tariff here in the sense that we call it as in terms of quality barriers or in terms of illegal requirements in terms of packaging, labeling, etc. So this is what we mean by tariff and non-tariff barriers. So such barriers were being abolished. Barriers means it is a constraint part of it. So those constraints were being removed. And next one is to increase the competitiveness and to benefit the consumers who are living in this world being considered as a village, global village, entire world. Any consumer residing in any part of the world can get any product, whether it is being manufactured in China or America. The person who is sitting in India can easily get it. So that is the basic thing in terms of WTO. And WTO has resulted in increase in production and productivity. And as a result, it has also helped in terms of employment, huge employment opportunities for the people living in this world, and to utilize the resources in a better way. All these positive things happen because of WTO. And that is, the cost of living has become less, and people can choose. Earlier to WTO, earlier to globalization, people have to choose goods or services which are being manufactured in a single country. So people are being limited with choice. But now people have huge choice. You want to buy a normal product, normal soap. Take for example, normal soap. If you want to buy, you can buy a multinational brand, or you can buy a local brand, or you can buy a national brand. Anything you can buy because international brands are being available. So this is choice, consumer choice has increased. So that is, and we have a lot of product categories, and quality wise, even the local brands and the national brands have to compete with the international brands if they are more bothered about selling their products. So this is advantages from the consumer perspective, and it also increases income because there was free flow of trade between countries. So countries, private and public sector, were able to get money in terms of trade. Easy buying and selling happened, which helped in economic growth and thereby increasing the employment opportunities of people living in developed countries and as well as in developing countries, especially for the third world countries. It helped a lot. And the basic principles: you can cut the cost when you are going to produce a product in large quantity, because now the globe is your market. And take for example again, Reliance factories are never being constructed for the Indian market. They are always being constructed for the international market, and that's the reason why Reliance is highly price competitive, because they are producing in large quantity. Their factories are huge. They produce for international markets, so automatically cost per product comes down and they could sell it for a better price, competitive price. So these are some of the advantages in terms of WTO, but it has also has its own disadvantages. The WTO, it has started dictating policies, and free trade worsens poverty in developing countries and destroys employment opportunities too, because small countries are less powerful, whereas developed countries like US, UK and all were more dominating. Even now they are dominating, and so weaker countries are being forced to join WTO. And WTO countries which are powerful like developed countries, US, UK, Australia, Canada and all were playing a very important role, and all these developed countries were establishing non-tariff barriers. Tariff barriers is customs duties and other things were being taken care, but non-tariff barriers here in the sense that suppose if an Indian